After watching Max's behaviour, I really wanted to see whether he was aware of his own actions. So when he settled by the computer, I went over and had a word with him.
Well, I've been acting up since my dad left the house.
Oh, you have you? Why is that then?
I actually don't know. The day he left, I asked him if he would tell me why he left, but he never did.
Do you want to know?
I really do. I don't know why he really left.
Yeah, there's so many things going through his head. So many questions that he wants answered, and he's really very lost and confused right now. Let me show you something. Come with me. I wanted to talk to Max to find out exactly what it was like in the house before his dad left. If your mum and dad were in this living area here and they were arguing, where was you and your sister?
Even if I was sleeping, I would normally wake up, go down where the argument was and stop it.
Yeah.
But it's keep happening every night, almost every night.
Right. He's been caught in the crossfire of his parents arguing frantically.
And my dad, he's not part of the family anymore.
Oh, and how does that make you feel?
I'm feeling a little, I'm not feeling so good.
What can I do here to help? What would you like me to change?
Can you talk with my dad and try to get him back? Because I really miss him.
And I think I just felt a hairline fracture in my heart as he said that, and a big lump in my throat. Well, I can't promise you that Daddy's gonna come back into the house. I can't promise that. That's something that Mummy and Daddy are gonna have to talk.
Yeah.
But I know one thing, I know that Daddy loves you very, very much.
Yeah.
Can I give you a big hug? Because I'd like to give you a really big hug. Let's start with Max. There is a lot of anger that he is repeatedly showing, and that's due to the fact that he is not having questions answered.
Right.
He wanted to know why you left, John, and he sits there and he says to me, I don't know. He's frustrated and he's confused, and the impact of that is his behaviour. You know, the punching and the hitting, and he ends up picking on his sister and hurting her. And then he retaliates, and he does that with a pair of you as well.
It's not necessarily malicious. It is intentionally to draw attention to him.
He needs some direction and guidance with boundaries, and he's not receiving that.
Okay.
Let's talk about Claire. She's realised that if she displays out of control behaviour, that it makes you fluster. She puts her foot down and she screams until she gets her own way.
Right. She'll just keep going to where I just can't stand it anymore. So I give up and I give her what she wants.
That's behaviour very quickly could change, but you continue to support this behaviour. There are many issues that need to be resolved. Unfortunately, there is a very large elephant in the room, and we're skirting around the elephant.
I don't know, this whole limbo state is difficult on me, and I think it's difficult on everyone.
But regardless of what's happening in your own relationship at present, you're both committed in raising your children together.
Absolutely.
There's no shortage here of love and how you both feel about your children.
And I just want to try to establish stability for myself, for my children, for Sarah, but with little damage as possible. Obviously, there's going to be collateral damage if I choose to walk away from this family.
Right now, these are tough times, okay? But it doesn't mean that we can't push through these tough times in making sure that we have lots of positive things in place that create stability, regardless of circumstances. So We're ready to create that foundation, right?
Yes,
Are you ready to do that together?
yes, I'd like that.
Me too.
We need to make decisions and we need to move on. So let's make some way. Thank you. I gave John and Sarah the night to think because I need to know what direction they're going in. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Hiya. Because it determines what I'm going to teach this family. For 8 months, you guys have chose to be in a place that's not progressed. Decisions have to be made now, so that at least you guys can move on, not just as individuals, but as parents.
If I say, you know what, let's drop the bomb right now, let's pull the trigger, let's move in our separate directions, that scares me to death because I don't want to hurt anybody.
You know, I still love him though, and I would like to understand and realize what we had done and put it behind us and try to have the family, to have the joy, to have the love and respect that the reasons why we got married. I mean, I understand we both screwed it up, and I take responsibility for a huge part of that. But I don't think you will make the choice to just let your guard down and to try.
I don't feel that I can let my guard down now.
This conversation is to establish what you both want.
At this stage of the game, I think that the separation is the only thing that I go for. I'm not coming back as a husband. I can't. It's not working for me.
You don't want to work on things.
The person that needs to work on me in regards to you is
John, she's asked you a question.
no, there.
I can't fight anymore. If that's your decision, then we have to split. I can't. Just...
You don't want the relationship anymore. You don't want the marriage.
Correct.
I don't even know what to say. It's very difficult for me because I had hope.
Then what I see with regards to the work that I can do here is to really take you through that transition. We're gonna need a conversation with the kids.
Okay.
John and Sarah told me that they had decided to divorce, and straight away my thoughts were on the kids. No matter how hard this conversation is going to be for the pair of them, they've got to tell the kids.
You know that mommy and daddy love you very, 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 very to the 10th power much, right? Okay. At this time, mommy and I are not going to stay married. But what we will stay forever and ever and ever are your mommy and daddy. We will never, ever leave you. There's nothing that's ever happened that has brought us to here has to do with you.
Truth is that Mummy and Daddy have made that decision to live in their separate houses, but that you guys will have 2 homes. Do you remember when we were talking, Max? And you said there were a few things that you didn't know and you wanted to ask Daddy some questions. Well, now you could ask Daddy those questions.
Okay, what question do you have?
Do you remember?
You said you would tell me why you moved out, and you never did since.
Okay. I moved out because I was trying to please everybody all the time.
And you were.
And I was, except one person, and that one person was me. I gave so much that I didn't have any more to give.
John launched into this introspective conversation, but I knew the kids wouldn't understand. I mean, what they need from him is a conversation that's black and white. The reason why Daddy moved out is because Daddy got on better with Mummy when they were living in separate houses. Because when they're in the same house, it's not good, is it? No, they were fighting, and that's not good for anybody.
Today was the day that I faced my biggest fear and explained to Max and Claire that I was not coming back as a husband, but I will always be their father, their daddy.
So what's important for Mummy and Daddy is that even though they're going to be in different houses, they're going to be together with you both.
I'm a little sad because my dad and mom are not together, but they still really love me a lot.
And that was a tough conversation for both Sarah and John to have with their kids, but it was a lot lighter than how they thought it was going to turn out. It seemed to leave the kids in a very comfortable place about where they were going to be in the mix of it all. Big hugs, big family hugs.
Big family hug. Come on.
Big hugs and kisses.